Hey guys, it's November the 15th, 2024, and I hope everybody's been having a wonderful day so far today. Just want to go ahead and say TGIF to everybody out there. You guys remember back in the day when they used to have the Friday night shows that used to come on, and they called it TGIF. I miss those days. I used to look so forward to watching all that stuff that came on Friday nights. I think it was like Family Matters and all kinds of stuff like that. But either way, this is like take number 13. So if you hear a bunch of gunshots, I have stopped, started, hoping that whoever this is in the background that keeps shooting their gun, that they would stop. And every time I stop and start, they just start shooting again. And it's like every time I start the video, I'll get like 2 minutes into it, and they just like fire off like round after round after round. So anyway, it's getting late, and I need to go ahead and get this filmed for today. So if you do hear a bunch of gunshots, I'm sorry in advance. It's just I can't do anything about it. It's the one thing about living in the country. There's no homeowners associations out here, and I can't do anything about anybody shooting a gun. But today I want to talk about liver healthy diet and what to eat. And this isn't going to be like, the exact list of everything that you need to eat, to have a healthy liver. But it's a pretty compiled list, a pretty good compiled list of things to eat. And the thing is that, this could be for anybody out there, anybody. If you're just wanting to protect your liver, these are some good things to eat. If you think that you might have caused some damage to your liver, some good things to eat. If you've been diagnosed with nafld, or cirrhosis or fibrosis or any of those things, it's a pretty good list to stick by. And, I practice a lot of this stuff. Now, some of the stuff I just can't eat. But for the most part, this is the stuff that I stick to. And the first thing that I'm going to go ahead and list off for today, and some of this stuff doesn't necessarily pertain to a diet per se, but I think it's important to add because, if we want to protect our liver or if we have cirrhosis or fibrosis, these are things that there's some things I wanted to talk about. I think are very important that you definitely need to avoid. So the first thing that I'm going to talk, and this list is kind of all over the place. I sat down and took a bunch of notes, and I didn't really put them into categories or anything, but you'll get the gist of where I'm going with this. Like I said, it is all over the place, but it is what it is for today. It's been a pretty hectic day. I just got home. Like I said, sat down and took these notes down. I thought I had these notes from an older video, and I looked and I couldn't find them anywhere. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this list. So the first thing on this list I want to discuss is keeping your sodium levels to 1,000 milligrams or less per day. And this is one of the most important things on this list, I think, because if you are dealing with cirrhosis, ascites is a big factor, and you want to do your best to keep the ascites at bay. And if you have ever dealt with ascites, I'm so sorry. I've had ascites multiple times, and I've spoken about this so many times on here, but ascites is probably the worst part of this, in my opinion. It just makes your life absolutely horrible. It just makes everything, it's just bad. You just cannot get comfortable. Your clothes don't fit. You feel uncomfortable. It's embarrassing to walk around, and you got this big belly. You look like you're 9 months pregnant. The rest of your body is a stick. I can't stand it. And for any of you guys out there that have had to suffer with that, I'm so terribly sorry. I know what you're going through if you're dealing with it right now, or what you have been through, because I have dealt with it. But keeping your sodium to 1,000 milligrams or less per day is going to help to keep the water from, collecting in your abdomen. And you just really want to do your best to keep your sodium levels down. And some other things that I'm going to talk about and address in this list today are going to kind of intertwine with keeping your sodium levels down. And I'm just going to go ahead and name this now, since I'm kind of talking about this. But one of the biggest things too that you need to do, one of the foods you need to avoid is fast food. Fast food, for one, is just loaded with sodium. They cook those foods in seed oils, which are just horrible for your liver. I mean, absolutely horrible. They're loaded with sugars, carbohydrates. I mean, fast food is just horrible for you. Just do your best to avoid it. And I know sometimes you just can't avoid it. You're on a road trip. There's nowhere to stop and eat. McDonald's is like the closest thing, to getting some actual food. And good Lord, you might have to do it every once in a while, but, don't eat fast food on a daily basis. It's horrible for you. And just stay away from it. And once again, the sodium levels in fast food is just ridiculous. And just like, take for instance, just like a hamburger at a fast food joint. I mean, the carbohydrates in that, the breads are loaded with sugars. I mean, like a little cheeseburger, like Mickey D's, I think it's like 56 carbs. It's something like that. It's ridiculous. Why waste your carbohydrates on a little teeny cheeseburger? You could eat so much more food. You could eat all the protein you basically want. And, if you got yourself, a piece of chicken and, a little bit of rice or something and some vegetables or something like that, I mean, you could really go to town and really fill yourself up. But, the one thing is that when we're eating a lot of sugars, that can build up in our liver and start to leave fat deposits in our liver, and then that can lead to NAFLD, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and you just want to stay away from that. While I'm on this topic as well, stay away from candy, soda, any of that kind of stuff. If you do want to drink soda, get zero sugar soda. One soda by itself is like 70 grams of carbs, like 70 grams of carbs for a can of soda. Why waste it on a soda? You could eat those carbohydrates. Just drink water or coffee, and I'm gonna go through this list, but just stay away from soda. And like I said, if it's something that you necessarily just want to drink the zero sugar kind. And those aren't great for you, but one soda a day or something like that, zero sugar, is not going to hurt you that bad. Another thing that's great too are the carbonated waters. And I talk about them all the time. Those things are great. Tea, you can drink that too. You could use like an artificial sweetener or just drink unsweetened tea. That works too. Put a twist of lemon or lime or something like that, or an orange twist or something like that in there, and it actually will sweeten it up a little bit. And the thing is about this is, when you start to change your diet, it's not going to be the greatest thing in the world when you first start. But it's one of those things you're going to get used to over time. And I will tell you this much. I cut back on my sodium levels a long time ago, and my sugars and all that stuff. And ever since I've done that, now I cannot stand salt. I despise salt, and I do not like super sweet stuff. I just don't like it. And the thing is that my palate has adjusted in a big way. Now, do I still get cravings for sweets and stuff like that? Absolutely. And I've spoken about this, but like if I go to like Sam's Club or something like that, or Walmart or anything like that, I will walk around like the little sweets, like the little bakery area. I'll walk around and drool over that stuff. I'll be the first one to admit. I have a weak spot for that kind of stuff. Pie, pastries, strudels, donuts, any of the brownies, any of that kind of stuff. I absolutely love it. And I hated sweets when I was a drinker. I did not eat them at all. I never ate my birthday cake. Up until I was 42, I never touched my birthday cake. Now, that's all I think about is sweet things. When I was a drinker, all I wanted to do, if I did want to eat something, I wanted to eat something salty, because I wanted something salty that would help me be able to drink more. Now, absolutely not. I'm a huge coffee drinker, and I love pastries and stuff like that. It's just what I like. But I stay away from it. And I do treat myself every once in a while. I'm not saying that I'm a teetotaler and I don't ever have like a cinnamon bun or something like that. Every once in a while, it's okay to have something once or twice a week. It's just you don't want to do it every single day. 2 liters of fluid a day, especially if you have... Now, this doesn't really necessarily pertain to you if you don't have liver problems right now. But 2 liters of fluid a day is about the max that you want to consume if you do have cirrhosis or fibrosis or NAFLD, because you don't want to get that ascites buildup in your stomach. Black coffee. This is one of the things that I am absolutely the most excited about on this list. I am an absolute coffee fanatic. I was not when I was a drinker. I didn't even drink coffee when I was a drinker. My coffee was a can of beer or a mixed drink in the morning. And I did that for a long, long time. Not, I would have coffee from time to time, but I just didn't really enjoy it that much. I mean, I wanted to have a drink in the morning because I felt so bad, and coffee would make me nauseous in the morning, especially a hot beverage that early in the morning. It just made me feel sick, and I just did not like to drink it. But now I drink coffee from the time I wake up in the morning until the time I go to bed. And I have had so many people that are like, I don't see how you drink coffee that late at night. I can do it. I can have a cup of coffee, and I'll have a cup of coffee for dessert. Like after I've had my dinner, I will have a cup of coffee as I lay there, like right before I go to bed. And I have no problems going to sleep after that. But that's me. I'm adjusted to it. I wouldn't suggest it for anybody out there, but black coffee is absolutely excellent for your liver. And they say that 3 to 4 cups a day is like the magic number. Like 1 to 2 cups is they've done scientific studies on this, and 1 to 2 cups really didn't show much improvement, but 3 to 4 cups of black coffee a day has shown great improvement in your liver function. It's good for your liver. The science behind it, I don't know. I think it has something to do with the phytochemicals or something like that that's in there. But anyway, black coffee is absolutely excellent for you, and I can't suggest black coffee enough. Now, you don't want to go pouring a bunch of heavy cream and sugar and all that kind of stuff in there, black coffee. So if you're not a big fan of black coffee, I get it, but try some nice coffee. If you're drinking Maxwell House and you don't like black Maxwell House, I get that. It's not great. If you're drinking instant coffee and you don't like it black, go get yourself some nice coffee. Think about how much money you were spending on alcohol on a daily basis. If you were spending $30 a day drinking or $20 a day drinking, what does it matter if you go spend $20 on a bag of really nice coffee? That's going to last you a week. And it's good for you, and you're going to enjoy it. Go try it out. I just went to the store. I just went to the store yesterday and got some Black Rifle coffee. And we went to the store again just a few minutes ago, and I got some more. Because I wanted to try a different flavor. I've never gotten the Black Rifle coffee before. I just got some this week, and I am absolutely in love with it. I cannot suggest coffee company more to you guys. Their coffee, the hype is real, as one of the subscribers said yesterday in the live. Black Rifle coffee is absolutely ridiculous. It is delicious coffee. But invest in some good coffee and try it out and see if you can handle it black. Protein, huge. You want to be eating as much protein as you possibly can. About 1/2 gram per pound body weight is probably about the number you want to strive for. Lean proteins. If you're going to eat beef, don't eat ground beef and all that kind of stuff. Try to stick to leaner cuts. I wouldn't eat ribeye and stuff like that. I would eat either filet mignon, which I know is rather expensive, or New York strip. You could try going with a roast. Chicken is a really good one. Pork, as long as you're getting like the leaner cuts of pork, like pork loin, try to stay away from the end of the pork loin. Trim it up. And don't eat that fat cap that's on there. Pork tenderloins, another great one. Fish, super great protein to eat, especially fatty fishes, oily fishes. Salmon is a great one. Cod is a great fish, although that's not an oily fish, but mackerel is a great fish to eat. Any of the oily fishes are super good. Anchovies, sardines, and that kind of stuff. But just try to increase your protein levels. Tuna, just eating a good amount of protein is great. It's good to help regenerate your liver. Your body needs protein to do that. Protein shakes are another option. Yogurt is another great option as well. Cheese is a great option. You don't want to go overboard with it, and make sure that you don't have like celiac disease or something like that. If you're okay, eating, is it celiac disease? I think it is. Or no, that's gluten. I'm sorry. If you have any kind of lactose problems, lactose allergies, be careful with that. But the thing is that you want to be trying to get as much protein, lean protein in as possible. And another thing too, and I just spoke about this yesterday, is trying to get some protein in right before bed. Eat a little snack with some protein. It helps your liver regenerate itself while you sleep. So right before you go to sleep at night, try to eat a protein heavy snack before bed. I drink a protein shake before I go to sleep at night and brush my teeth and go to bed at night. And I have found that helps me out tremendously. Cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, kale, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, any of those types of things, great for your liver. Try to get organic if you can. I would absolutely recommend steaming those vegetables if possible. Some vegetables, you can't really steam all that well, like kale or something like that, but give it a saute in some olive oil, which is another thing that's on my list as well. Olive oil is a great addition to your diet. It's great for you. Avoid seed oils at all costs. Don't eat them. They say that seed oils are just as toxic for your liver as sugar and alcohol are. Stay away from those. And there's a lot of science behind this right now. Just avoid seed oils at all costs. They are horrible for your body. Just don't eat them. And another thing too, real butter. There's nothing wrong with real butter. You don't want to go overboard with it, but real butter is good for you. Saturated fats, you don't want to go overboard once again, but don't eat margarine. If you're going to eat butter, if you want to put something on your toast or something like that, or butter on whatever you're eating, eat real butter. Don't eat margarine. That stuff is made with hydrogenated oils. Horrible. Let me repeat, horrible for your body. Don't eat them. Nuts. And this is one of those things, the oils and nuts, great for you. They've got protein in them, fiber. Now, it's one of those things you don't want to sit down and eat a whole tub of nuts. That's not what I'm saying. A handful of nuts is about the most that you want to eat. Get yourself a small handful of almonds, stuff like cashews and stuff like that you don't really want to eat. But like almonds, Brazil nuts, macadamia nuts, there are a lot of really healthy nuts that you can eat out there. Pistachios. There's kind of a debate on peanuts. I like peanuts. I love peanut butter. But it's one of those things. It's up to you. And with peanut butter as well, make sure that when you're getting peanut butter, you're not getting one that's full of hydrogenated oils. You really want to stick to something that's a natural peanut butter, one of those peanut butter powders that you can mix on your own, or make your own peanut butter at home. It's not difficult, and you can add what you want to add to it. I would suggest if you want to eat peanut butter, make it at your house. Use something natural like you've got like agave sweetener, honey, to add into it to make it a little bit sweeter. I would put honey in it if I was you. A little bit of like Himalayan pink salt or Celtic salt, and that's about it. You puree it up. You might want to add maybe a little tinge of olive oil into it, just to get the consistency right, make it a little bit creamier. But making your own peanut butter at home is rather simple. If you have a food processor, that's pretty much all you need, and just a few minutes to make it. And it's not difficult at all. You can get your peanuts at the store that are just raw, haven't been touched at all. You could do a little toast to them, or you can buy pre-toasted nuts. Just be careful that they're not tossed in hydrogenated oils, seed oils, that they've got tons of salt all over them. I would try to find the rawest peanuts that you can get your hands on, and then make your peanut butter from that. I've already talked about this as far as fast food, but just stay away from processed food. And that goes for, You know the saying that you really want to stick to the outer edges of the grocery store, and anything in between, you kind of really want to stay away from. If you stick to the outer edges of the grocery store, you're going to be in a pretty good shape. But just stay away from processed food. And that goes for potato chips, frozen pizzas, ice cream, frozen French fries, frozen snacks like the snackatizer things you can just toss in the oven, canned soups. Those things are so high in sodium. If you ever take a can of canned soup, turn the label around and take a look at the sodium content, it will absolutely blow you away how much sodium is in that stuff. They put all kinds of preservatives in that stuff. It's horrible for your liver. Just stay away from processed foods. If you really want to try to stick to foods in the most rawest form that you can. And I get it. It takes more time. It's more of a process in order to get where you would like to go with your food. If you just want to throw a frozen pizza in the oven, that's all you got to do. And some people don't even want to go that far. They just want to drive through a quick fast food place, grab a bag, and drive home. And I get it. We live busy lives, but at the same time, this is your health and your life. You really want to try to eat as raw as you can. Garlic is another thing that's great for you. Avocados, great for you. The unsaturated fats in the avocado, great for your body. Oatmeal. Now, don't get processed oatmeal. Don't get the ready-to-eat stuff, the kind that's like, you rip the package open, you pour it in some hot water, and it's ready to go. You want to get, rolled oats, the raw oats, the kind that you have to cook, and they take time to cook, or you can just throw them in the fridge, put a little milk on them or some water, and you can have overnight oats. And that's all you gotta do. You put them in a mason jar, you put some water in there, and then the next day, you can do whatever you want to them. You could throw a little bit of honey in there, a little dash of salt, maybe some fruit, mix in a little yogurt, whatever you want to do. But overnight oats are a very simple way to add a lot of fiber to your diet. Avoid fatty foods. And this goes for your French fries, deep fried. If it goes in a deep fryer, stay away from it. For one, once again, seed oils and fatty foods are going to add fat to your liver. You just don't want to eat them. You want to try to stay away from fat as much as possible. And I'm not saying don't eat any fat at all. That's not what I'm saying, because you do need fat. And one thing that I found out is I was trying to stay away from fat like the plague, and I was not eating it at all. And my skin started getting really, really, really dry. My hands were starting to crack. My knuckles are cracking. I started eating some more fat, adding fat to my diet. I was basically eating zero fat at one point. Went back to adding some fat to my diet, and the dry skin went away. So just be careful about that. Spinach, another great addition to your diet. I would try to eat it raw. One of those things, raw vegetables, they're going to have more vitamins and minerals in them when you eat them in the raw. Now, cooked spinach, if you don't go crazy with it and cook the death out of it, you're still going to maintain most of those vitamins and nutrients in there and minerals. Same thing with all your cruciferous vegetables and all that stuff. If you do a quick steam on it, it's going to maintain most of that stuff. But if you just take that stuff and boil the ever-living crap out of it, a lot of that stuff leaches out. So just don't go crazy with what you're doing. Dark chocolate's another great one. Now, I'm not saying go and eat 5 bars of dark chocolate every single day, but it's one of those things, a couple of little pieces of dark chocolate are good for you. What makes dark chocolate is the same thing that's in red wine and stuff. So you're getting those benefits that you would get from drinking red wine without having to drink the alcohol. And you're getting a little bit of a caffeine boost from the dark chocolate. It just makes you feel good. You're going to get a little bit of a dopamine kick when you have your dark chocolate. I love dark chocolate, especially salted dark chocolate. My favorite. Here's one. This is a no-brainer. Stop drinking. If you want to protect your liver health, just stop drinking alcohol. Don't try to cut back or any of that kind of stuff. Now, I get it. If you've been drinking for a long period of time, please speak with a doctor before you try to quit. But tapering is a great option if you can handle it. But stopping drinking is going to be super beneficial for your liver. That's pretty much a no-brainer right there. I'm not going to sit here and harp on that. Herbs and spices, using herbs, spices, especially fresh herbs and spices, or fresh herbs, add a lot of flavor to your food. If you haven't really ever cooked with fresh herbs, try it out. Now, using fresh herbs is one of those things where you kind of want to use the herbs in the end. So let's say you're making like a wild rice, and you want to put some rosemary in there. Chop the rosemary up really finely, and then after your rice is cooked and all that, then throw the rosemary in. Don't cook it all the way up with your rice. You can do that, but adding herbs at the end of your dish just really helps maintain the freshness of the herbs, and it just makes things taste much better. Let's say that you're making a chicken with like a tomato sauce over the top, and it's a cooked tomato sauce. Take that basil and or cilantro or whatever you're going to throw in there. Cook the pasta sauce or the tomato sauce or whatever, and then throw those herbs in the end. It just makes things more vibrant, fresh, and can help you reduce that sodium without losing the flavor in your food. Another reason to avoid eating fast food, going out to places, is that you run the risk of contracting hepatitis when you go out to eat. If people don't wash their hands properly and touch your food, you could contract hepatitis, and that is one thing you do not want to get, especially if you're having liver problems. I used to work with this lady and her husband, they went and got some raw oysters. This is another thing too. You want to stay away from any raw or undercooked seafood, any undercooked meats, period. Just stay away from it, especially seafood. I used to work with this lady. Her and her husband went out and got oysters on the half shell one night, and he ended up contracting hepatitis from those, and he almost lost his life. And ended up with a bunch of liver problems after the fact, and he was an older gentleman as well. Just stay away from it. There's that gunshot again. Good Lord, they are really shooting something over there. I think they're shooting that kyanite or whatever it is that they blow up. Grapefruit, another great thing to add to your diet. Beets or beet juice are another great addition to your diet. Green tea is another great addition. Now, with me saying green tea, stay away from green tea extract. You do not want to drink that stuff. And this is another one of those things. Please, if you drink energy drinks, and they're not good for you, but if you're going to drink them, please pay attention to the labels on the cans that you are drinking. A lot of them, probably 80% of the energy drinks that are out there, and there's some big name ones out there, and I'm not going to name them on here, but some of them start with a C, contain green tea extract. Please be careful that it has been proven to cause liver damage. Stay away from green tea extract. If you want to do a simple Google search, look it up. It's very harmful for the liver. Why? I don't know, but you just want to stay away from green tea extract. Just all you got to do is just take a simple look at the ingredients on the can, and it'll tell you on there that it's got green tea extract. It's usually one of the last ingredients on the can. And as far as food is concerned, I think that's about it. Now, another thing as well is being careful with your supplements. Make sure that if you're going to take supplements or vitamins, that you're getting them from a reputable vendor, and that they're maybe doing like third-party testing on the stuff that you're going to take, that there's not any kinds of like chemicals or pesticides, or there's a lot of stuff that could lead. Just be careful with the vitamins and supplements that you're taking, especially supplements. I would avoid supplements. But it's up to you. Do what you want to do. It's your life. But what you are going to take, just please make sure that you're getting some of this third-party tested. Make sure it doesn't have anything funky in there, because it's one of the things about our country in the U.S. Is that they don't have to abide by any of the FDA rules. It could have basically anything in there. You just really want to be careful with what you're taking. Another thing too, be careful with your herbal remedies. Once again, do what you want to do. It's your body, it's your life, but just be careful. There's a lot of herbal remedies out there, and some people get this idea that they're just going to fix their liver by taking milk thistle. It's not the case. I've spoken to my doctor about it multiple times. He told me not to take that stuff. Once again, if that's what you want to take, go for it. I'm not saying that it's horrible for you. I'm not saying it doesn't work. All I'm saying is just be careful with it, and don't lean on the herbal supplement as the fix-all for your liver, because that's not going to do it. You really got to be careful, and there's a lot of things you're going to need to do, especially drinking water, sticking to a clean diet, not drinking alcohol anymore, not taking acetaminophen, Tylenol, horrible for your liver. You got to stay away from that stuff. But just doing the best things that you can for your liver health, trying to exercise, stuff like that. And if you want to add one of these herbal remedies in there as well, go for it. I'm not going to say, go to take them or not. I don't take them. But once again, it's your life, and I'm not going to say don't do this. It's going to harm you in any kind of way, because I don't have any proof of that. But all I'm going to say is just be careful with what you're taking, and don't think that that's going to be the fix-all for you. Don't think that if you're going to take a milk thistle supplement every day that you can drink a half a gallon of vodka and everything's going to be honky-dory, because it's not. It absolutely is not. So just be mindful of that. Another thing too, and this doesn't pertain to diet, but be careful with chemicals. I would suggest not using chemicals, especially if you have liver problems. If you're cleaning your house, you can use vinegar. There's a lot of things, homemade, mixes that you can mix up to clean with, like homemade cleaning supplies. Just do a simple Google search. Get on YouTube. There are tons and tons of videos. People use like vinegar, lemon juice. People take pine needles, and they'll take like pine needle. I've done this before, and it actually really cleans. If you're somewhere that you can access pine needles, you take like lemon. Lemon halves, pine needles, and white vinegar, distilled white vinegar, and you put the pine needles in there, you put the lemon halves, and you let it sit for like a week, and then you strain everything out, and it is a wonderful cleaner, and it has absolutely no chemicals in it. Smells great. It's a natural disinfectant, and it just works. So give that a shot. Don't use these really harsh chemicals when you're trying to clean. And sometimes you can't avoid it, but use like rubber gloves, maybe wear a mask. I mean, just be careful. Don't get it on your skin, because if you get on your skin, it's going to absorb into your body. Let me take a quick glance on here real quick and see if there's anything that I missed. But I think I pretty much got everything that I wanted to talk about today. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, at the end of the day, the basic synopsis is try to eat as raw as possible. Don't eat super processed foods. Try to eat things that are as clean as you can. And if you stick to a clean diet, don't add a lot of salt, no seed oils. Just stay away from seed oils. I cannot harp on that enough. They are horrible for you. If you don't believe me, look it up. There's been a lot of research that's been done here recently about seed oils, and I'm serious, they are bad for you, extremely bad for you. If you are going to try to sweeten anything, stick to natural sweeteners like agave, and I can't say enough about honey. I absolutely love honey. If I want to sweeten anything up, I use honey. Honey's got a lot of benefits to it, and I don't just eat cups of honey at a time. I might put a teaspoon of honey on something. Now I eat yogurt on a daily basis, and I put a handful of blueberries and I drizzle honey over the top of it. I absolutely love honey, and it's got a lot of benefits to it, especially if you're getting a local honey that's close to you. They say that the bees collect the natural pollen, and when you're ingesting that daily, if you put a little bit in your tea or, on top of your food or whatever, that you're getting those natural local pollens in your food, and it's going to help you build up a resistance to allergies. And it's just great for you, especially if you got a sore throat, you're starting to come down with a cold, all kinds of stuff. I mean, honey's a natural antibacterial. There's just a lot of benefits to honey, and I think it's one of the best sweeteners that's out there, and it's made in nature. Especially with the honeycomb. Oh my gosh, my uncle used to be a beekeeper and would send us honey all the time, and we had honeycomb on the table at all times. There was a crystal dish that sat on our table that had a big honeycomb in it, and we added honey to our food all the time as a kid growing up. My mom used to make yeast rolls all the time, and oh my gosh, a nice fresh yeast roll with some butter on there and some honeycomb. It doesn't get much better than that. I'm not kidding. If you've never tried real honeycomb before, it is ridiculously good. I love the beeswaxes in it. I just think it's delicious, but it's not for everybody. But give it a shot if you've never tried it before. But once again, guys, I think that's it for today. Once again, I didn't touch on every single thing that I needed to as far as liver healthy diet or anything like that. There's way more to it, but I'm already at 35 minutes, and I don't want to make this video any longer, and it's starting to get dark. It's getting late. I think it's about 5:45 or something like that right now. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here before it gets dark. But thank you so much for watching today. I really do appreciate it. And guys, until tomorrow, I will see y'all then. Y'all have a great rest of your night and enjoy your weekend. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love y'all so much. Bye-bye.